Yeah.
That's probably where I heard it
and they
from.
bragged. That's why we know so much about the cases, because
They
bragged about town.
Mm-hmm.
And
they bragged about killing him.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't even in a fist fight. The suckers ran him over. I'm sorry. How chicken
go right
can
ahead.
you be?
If they would have hit him by accident, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a gravel road in December.
Welcome to Creepalachia. We have a full studio today, and I'm so very excited, but not really. I'm not overly excited for this episode. I was telling Brenda and Linda beforehand, but I'm excited to meet you all because we've been talking on the phone, and I've learned a lot about your dad, Sergeant James Lee Haynes, over the course of time, and that's why you're here today. You all actually traveled to West Virginia because there's a search happening. He went missing in the 60s, and you're going to tell us about him. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we also have Mark from Mountain State Mysteries, because nobody has covered this case more than Mark and Courtney.
Correct.
So it's going to be very beneficial because, as I was telling him, I'm completely useless. I just tell jokes.
He's been so helpful.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So let's start left or right. Let's see. Who wants to go first? Brenda, Linda?
Our left or yours?
Let's start with you. Introduce yourself to the folks and tell me your name and let's just walk into the beginning.
I'm Linda Haynes, one of the twins of Sergeant James Lee Haynes.
Thank you for being here. And you, miss?
I'm Brenda Haynes Lester, and I'm the other twin.
Perfect. Oh, Brenda, thanks for being here. So tell me about your life growing up. And it wasn't in West Virginia.
No.
You're in West Virginia because that's where you went missing. So,
Yes.
and we'll lay that out after we get to know who James was.
Yeah, we were raised in Maryland.
Glen Burnie.
What happened was Dad's vehicle wasn't here for him to travel to West Virginia because Dad was stationed in Germany, and he came back. We came back first because my grandfather died on my mom's side, so the Army wouldn't let us go back over, Mom and us kids.
Mm-hmm.
So Dad finished out his tour in Germany and met Mom in Maryland. And
he used to go to Fort Knox.
He was on 45-day leave. So he wanted to come up here and see his parents because he hadn't seen them in 8 years, I believe it was, and they were really close.
Right.
And he was bringing them Christmas presents. And also baby doll clothes that me and Linda came home from the hospital because back then they didn't have preemie clothes. So,
this was 1963, correct?
Yes, December 7th, 1963.
Okay.
Pearl Harbor Day.
How old were you at the time? Y'all look like you're 40. So I don't know how old was you back in 63?
We were 18 months old when.
18 months old.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have gotten to know your dad through pictures and text.
Pictures
and stories.
Stories, yeah. And it's, yeah.
And I mean, I haven't heard one bad thing about him.
Yeah.
From
and my mom's side of the family loved him. Yeah.
Yeah.
They he would help anybody. I mean, he was home for two weeks, I think, or a week and a half before he made the journey up here.
Mm-hmm.
And within that time, he fixed my grandmother's roof on her house, went under the house and wrapped the pipes, fixed her car, fixed my cousin's car, because he was he knew mechanics.
Sure. And you know how hard that would be in 1963? You don't have all these fancy tools. So you actually got to know what you're doing.
Yeah. From what I understand, he knew everything about a car.
Yeah.
And my brother was, okay, well, first we need to start that we don't do parent step brothers and anything like
half
that.
brothers or
Right.
sisters, whatever. We weren't. That was new to us when we were teenagers.
That
Somebody said that about
He-
my brother was a half,
Yeah.
and it confused us.
But back when they were over in Germany, my dad wanted to adopt my brother. And they told me he had to wait until he got back into the States. And they were so close that his unit, my dad was a tank commander. And his unit went and bought Tom a small army uniform and put little Haynes on it. So that's how close my brother had all kinds of stories about that.
Right.
Going to watch movies
And-
in Germany in German.
And their picnics out, and he would take his Coleman stove from the army from his unit, or
The kit.
their kit. What do they call it now? A meal readiness kit.
MREs?
Yeah, MRI.
Or no,
MRI.
well, the MREs are the really dried out meals that they put water
well,
in. And,
before that was they gave you a little Coleman stove with a pot and metal plates and stuff. And Tom would tell us how they would go out and picnics and eat hot dogs off the Coleman stove and stuff like that.
It
So
would not freak the housing, because they weren't used to things like that.
yeah. How much older is your brother?
he's 9 years older than us.
9 years older?
And then we have another sister that's 2 years older than us.
It's a close
So,
family.
So when Dad died, it's pretty much the same as everybody's relating now to Charlie Kirk. My mom had twins, a year and a half old, and a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old that she, had to wrangle together and fight with the army and fight with,
Everybody.
yeah.
Swing that
Mom-
mic to you. I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yeah,
Mom had written to President Johnson, received a letter back. Sent a letter to Robert Kennedy
Yeah.
Sr. and got a letter back. Both letters were like a paragraph, a small paragraph.
Yeah, like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Sorry about your husband. I hope he's found safe. I suggest you go on welfare.
That was
from President Johnson.
You still have that letter?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have it.
Oh, it's fine. I was just
But
curious.
yes, we have
Yeah,
it.
and she got one back from Bobby Kennedy that he was busy finding activists that was missing down in Mississippi or Louisiana,
Right.
and it was out of his jurisdiction. But what gets us is Dad was a Purple Heart recipient at the age of 18, and stayed in the military after that to do his duty and stuff, and it wasn't important enough. He wasn't important enough to the army, the locals, anybody.
Well, Senator Byrd,
Yeah, Senator Byrd helped.
he tried looking into it.
Right.
I have all kinds of things where he's looked in different places and with the government, with the army, and I think he's one of the ones that got Dad's case looked into as far as
As far as public officials go.
yes,
Okay.
And he's
Yeah.
considered active duty deceased.
Active. What does that mean? Just he was active duty and died not in war, but just
Correct, yeah.
over here. Okay, gotcha. And how long after he disappeared did they rule him deceased? Like, I guess that's part of the story.
a year and a
1
day.
year and 1 day.
1 year and 1 day. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
according to the military, instead of December 7th, 1963, it's December 8th, 1964.
Okay. Wow. So this has been a lifelong goal. Like, what would you say? It's
Well,
just
growing up, we heard you won't believe the stories, and he was ground up for wild dogs, threw down a well,
Burned in a hay
in a coal mine, fed the wild dogs. We heard.
Who told you that?
Well, we've read it. We didn't really.
Okay.
We read because Mom kept all the papers
Mhm.
in his footlocker.
Right.
Mom wouldn't talk to us about it
We
until
would
we
hear things.
became teenagers and we started asking questions.
You know, I mean, when we were
You know.
little, we heard things from like another room, like if she was on
Yeah,
the telephone.
Because Mom
or
was busy.
she didn't. You know, we weren't included in all that. We were just, you know,
Sure.
off to the side.
Yeah.
So
That's so sad,
can
especially for
remember.
your mom.
I can remember sitting on the steps, and Mom and one of the FBI agents in the living room, and we were sitting on the steps
Right.
listening.
Wow.
yeah, because they came to Mom one time. They had found the skull, and they thought it was Dad's. So they came to tell Mom, and then they called her a month later and said, "Oh no, it's not him."
How long ago after was that?
I believe that was a skull, really, that Brad Walls found while he was deer hunting.
Hmm.
I think that was in
No.
the
Yeah.
It was
70s.
earlier
Margie
than
That was Margie Dodd.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
that was,
but I think it was earlier than that.
well, that would have been, was it the 90s?
It might have been.
Because they didn't identify her for like 20 years after because the sheriff at the time didn't allow them to look at the evidence.
Mhm.
Was it 93?
It was, I think it was in the 90s
But
they
he,
found.
but he found them. We found the skull before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So would that be how things would go? Like you would there would be a momentum, let's call it, for a little while, and then it would just die off. And
Yeah.
then, a handful of years later, you'd hear something else.
They called Mom or I don't know how it got to it, that they wanted her to like say stuff was his and stuff. One was a plastic wallet, and Mom said no, his was leather because she had bought it for him for Christmas before. But as we were talking, they probably took Dad's wallet and threw out one of theirs.
Sure.
Because these weren't nice guys, and I'll name them.
Mhm.
And first of all, we don't grudge the families at all. A lot of people think that we would be mad at the total families. No, that's not it at all.
Mm-mm.
Because we've been in touch with the Trump kids
Mhm.
and the grandkids and stuff. So we know how scared everybody was of Lundy Trump.
Right.
Their kids would have to go hide in the woods at night to keep from being shot or killed from him.
Mhm.
He was a terrible, terrible man.
Sure. And I'm not going to edit you all by any means. We can, but obviously no one's been formally charged. There is a leading
Yes.
theory. Or
Yes, Lundy Trump was indicted.
he was indicted for this. Okay.
Yes.
For Dad.
Gotcha.
And then first we heard they didn't have enough evidence to prosecute. That can't be right because they wouldn't have took it to a grand jury.
If they
Right.
didn't.
And then we were told that he was found unfit to stand trial. So they put him in a Huntington psych
Mental.
hospital.
Mhm.
And then they let him out in 4 years.
Yeah.
But
and I'm assuming he's
we-
not alive now.
no,
No,
none
he's
of them
not.
are.
Right.
And the other two, the Gazort brothers, it was James Paul Gazort was in the car, and James Floyd Cox.
Gotcha.
They were the Gazort and his brother that knew where my dad's body was buried. I call them cowards because they ran. They ran all the way to Oregon
Mhm.
Gotcha.
2 weeks after it happened.
They
Before
lived
before we
in-
get too deep, I think for the people that are listening that don't know a lot about this case, there are a few out there. I mean, most people
No, there
listening
is.
know,
No.
but to this show at least,
Mhm.
they probably have listened to Mark's podcast, Mark and
yes.
Courtney, and kind of know the basics. But I want to lay out from the beginning. So it is good to know, like, he was a good dude, very handy, blue collar type, obviously loved his country, was traveling. Let's start from the beginning.
I'm sorry.
So
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You got the little silent
Yeah.
thing. Okay, perfect. I guess, do we want Mark to lay this out? We start at the beginning here, Mark. Let's start from why he ended up in West Virginia. What was going on?
Well, like they said, his van wasn't here. It was still in Germany. He hitchhiked. Was it someone he was related to? He rode with so far, then got with.
Yeah, that my uncles drove him to Harper's Ferry, Maryland. It was Harper's Ferry, if you don't know, borders Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland.
Right.
And
beautiful place.
My uncles let him out there for him to hitchhike. And so my mom had to do the police report in Maryland because that was the last place that we known of him being. And then I'm sorry, you said Mark.
No, hey, listen, you got rain in the room.
Then
So
3 days later, they put a broadcast on the news of my dad missing.
Mm-hmm.
With
And
his photo and everything.
Mary King
Mhm.
called the police and said, no, I picked him up in Harper's Ferry and I drove him to Oak Hill. It was her and her grandson. She was going to visit her son. So she was going another direction. So she dropped him in Oak Hill.
okay.
And then really after that, we don't know if someone else picked him up or if because Oak Hill to Bolt, dear God, that's 45, 50 minutes maybe.
Roads were the same back then for that route, right?
But
there
they were
hasn't-
running-
Was it 21 and
60?
I don't know if the interstate would have been there, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, the interstate wasn't
Yeah, I'm
there.
awful with that. So
That's because you're young.
Courtney's usually the one to know the interstate and all that, but
The interstates wasn't there.
I typed GPS. I'm like, go take me here, please.
that's me. So he ended up in Bolt.
Right.
Went to the Bolt Tavern because it was cold. You guys said he wanted coffee or hot chocolate because
Yeah.
December. So
he wasn't drinking because he was going to his parents' house and his
Dad.
we call him his dad. It was his stepdad. He raised him since he was a year old. His my dad's dad died when he was a year old. I've heard some podcasts say, well, we don't know what happened to his father. He was raised by his stepfather. His father died of some kind of infection or something.
Vernon Clay was his dad.
Okay.
Yeah, was his
So
dad. His father died, but his dad was Vernon Clay.
His brother and sisters are all Clays.
Right. To clarify, Brenda and Linda will fist fight people calling half brothers and half sisters not
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But yeah, it makes sense. So it was his dad.
It was
his
so
dad.
they were
Gotcha.
going to his parents' house.
He had a little
visit.
something for everyone.
And
Gotcha.
Grandpap was a minister, so he wouldn't drink and go to their house.
Right.
And also my dad had Bell palsy at the time. So we know an argument started because he wouldn't have a beer with the guys.
And you heard that from your mom. I mean, your grandmother.
heard that from my nanny. And
And she knew B because they were all up on the mountain when we were there.
yeah, James walked up to what they call Little Bolt, and God, it's maybe a mile or two up that little hill, and they ran him over and backed over him.
Mhm.
And then they all got out, and this guy named B, which that's just his nickname. I do not remember his name
No,
for the life of me, but
he was the fourth man in the bar.
he
Okay.
hung his head out the window asking them if they need any help because the driver slowed down but didn't want to stop because, December gravel wouldn't have ended up well. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're good. And then a few days later, B figured out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then
He saw it on the newscast, he said.
I guess it was either the day after that, Lundy Trump's daughter looked at my great grandmother and was like, my dad brought the soldier home and had my dad wrap him up, or had my mom help him wrap him up in a rug. wedding quilt, something.
Mhm.
And then we've always heard they stuck him in a room that was just dirt at the time,
Mhm.
Right.
but we aren't really sure where he is
No.
Well,
per se.
well,
We did.
So I want to clarify, where did the account of him getting ran over come from? Who said this?
B was one of them.
Mhm.
Okay.
B told us
He thought-
personally. We met B at B because a couple years ago, the state police pronounced his name
And Andre Papalatier.
Sounds good.
was is a state
Trooper.
a trooper. I don't know what rank he is,
Right.
but he went up there with a ground penetrating device,
Mhm.
and we searched old Lundy Trump's house because we thought he was in the floorboard.
Hmm.
You know, in the
What year was this?
Or
19.
19.
I think it was 2019.
Okay.
And you want to tell them how we got that information with BAM and all that?
Yes. Now, this takes a turn.
It's took about 5 turns currently.
BAM
I'm
is
sorry.
No, I mean, don't be sorry. I'm just saying there's a lot to this. It's
Yeah.
not just a guy came to West
Well,
Virginia and
B-
disappeared.
Said that when he slowed down, he thought that they had hit a deer.
Right.
So he
there
kept
was
going
blood
on
all
home.
over him.
Then he heard the newscast and saw it and went to the police, and they were supposed to get back with him and never did.
Y'all talked to
But-
B?
Yeah,
What year was that?
19.
2019.
Is he alive still?
We don't believe so.
I don't
he
know.
was he was really old then.
Right.
And
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go
That's
ahead.
okay.
I want to say he might be. I'm not too sure
he was
because
somebody
Nanny
nice.
wasn't sure. So
But he
it's
was
TBD.
nice. He was so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and he was.
Yeah,
He says, I try to tell him, but nobody would get back in touch
Yeah.
with me.
we okay. If you type Dad's name in, you get bunches of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I came across like mad butcher theories and all kinds of different things.
Well, when one of the things it's
Web sleuth.
Web Sleuth. His story was in that. It was in what was that? Detective?
Master Detective
Master
magazine.
Detective and all that. But I'm reading the comments, and I straightened them out.
Web
Mhm.
sleuth blocked me
And
because I tried to correct him, and I wasn't being mean. I'm not a mean person. I wasn't being mean. I said, I'd like to correct some of the things that you put on there.
mhm.
Sure. Well,
So-
I mean, listen, if the way I am, if someone directly related to a case corrects me, they're correct.
Mhm.
That's
You know,
basically how I do things.
Up until lately, no one has talked to the family.
I think Mark was the first
Mark
one that
was the
actually.
first one that we talked to.
Right.
Yeah, everybody. All this.
All this time, everybody's been what I say regurgitating and adding to it
mhm.
and putting it out there. They just don't know, and
yeah.
they're like,
Is it crime something crew? It's 3 girls on there, and
she wanted to correct them.
and I tried to correct them. They had Dad at the VFW hall. Oh, he was seen at the VFW hall a couple days before this happened. So
Right.
that makes sense that he'd be in this tavern. That's pretty much what they said.
Mhm.
Right.
Dad wasn't even here until the day he disappeared.
So he
You
wasn't
know,
here
so
days
they threw
before.
that in there,
Sure.
and then other people came up with other stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, so this happens in 63. And then eventually this thing called the internet comes out, and then people can just put whatever they want.
Right.
And then that gets turned in. You know what I mean? And there are a lot of shows that try to reach out to
Mhm.
family, but most
But
of them
they
are
don't.
like just grinding,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they
Okay, I'm sorry. Going back to Web Sleuth,
right.
there was somebody on there, John Zuchek, Zuchick, and he had written something, and I corrected him. Well, he got back to me on there and said that he was Lundy Trump's grandson, and so we were talking through there for a while, and then we decided we were going to start texting because that was just ridiculous. And then after texting back and forth, we decided, what the hell, we're just going to call each other. And he lived with his mom because his health was bad. And he would like go back and forth and tell me things that, but his mother, if he asked his mother a question, she would come back and talk to him. So anyway, while we're talking and everything, his mother gives him the address of the old homestead. So John brought it up on satellite and contacted the state police, Andre Puppeteer, and Andre went up to the location and asked them, if they had no clue of the story.
Right.
They just bought the house. I think she said 97.
Yeah. And
So she had no clue of anything.
So you just contacted, was like, hey, I think there may be a body under your house. Can we?
exactly.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they contacted us and we came up. We were talking to John on the phone. And as the day progressed, lawn chairs started showing up.
I mean, this is West Virginia.
People
Yeah.
coming in and
Well, that's how I met his grandmother.
Yeah, my nanny.
Oh, wow.
My nanny
Yeah.
was a lawn chair. She closed the Glen Rogers PSD to
Mhm.
go sit in Debbie's yard with a lawn chair, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure she brought you guys sandwiches. I could be wrong.
She might have.
I think
but-
somebody did and brought waters too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably her. But yeah, she.
And B, that's where we met B at. I mean,
Oh.
it was
It was
And-
wild.
Wow.
things that, I mean, things in that house, it's just unbelievable.
Well, I want to go back. So you and Lundy Trump,
Grandson.
Grandson.
Okay. So it's like, hey, I think my grandpa killed your dad, and you're like, hey, I think your grandpa killed my dad, and then y'all just become friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was
This is
so
the
nice.
most
He
West
was-
Virginia thing.
He was just so. They lived in North Carolina.
Carolina.
Oh, okay. So it was Maryland and North Carolina,
Yeah,
and then
but-
Well, actually,
triangulate.
at the time, I was living in Georgia.
Gotcha. Okay.
But Martha, Lundy Trump's wife, packed up the kids and moved to North Carolina
Right.
because of,
Situation.
They get divorced.
Yes.
I don't know if they ever
Well,
got divorced.
so
but
he
I know
went-
She
did-
remarried, so
Yeah.
So okay. So she remarried. So he gets committed eventually, though. You
Yeah,
said,
but he
Okay.
was out in a couple
in 4
years.
years.
Gotcha.
And then
The whole thing was with her and Carl had went to the police, and because she was a battered wife and the children were battered, and she wanted him arrested, and she told the police things that Lundy had told her, probably in a menacing way.
he was a drunk.
And
Right.
we heard that he, for no reason, there was a church down the street, and he showed up there one Sunday morning with a knife.
Oh yeah, my nanny was there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably
He
where I
was-
heard
and
it
they
from.
bragged. That's why we know so much about the cases, because
They went.
they bragged about town.
Mm-hmm.
And
They bragged about killing him.
Yeah,
and he
and it wasn't even in a fist fight. The suckers ran him over. I'm sorry. How chicken
Go right
can you
ahead.
be?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
you
and if it was let's say they hit him
I'm
by
sorry.
accident,
you're fine. You're fine.
if they would have hit him by accident, that's one thing.
mhm.
Because it is a gravel road in December. But then they backed over him. And I even got where they ran over his head to make sure he was dead.
Mhm.
Right.
And then they stuck him in the trunk of a car. And in Lundy's words, they drove around all night and then they buried him.
Mm.
So,
And was B at the burial?
No,
no.
Bill
Okay.
had B had nothing to do with any of this.
Right.
He
Okay.
was
So
just a witness
he just
to
witnessed-
the accident,
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
and he didn't even realize that's what it was.
Yeah, it was,
Got it.
Lundy Trump. William Lundy Trump is his official name,
Mm-hmm.
and James Paul
Paul.
Gazort, and James Floyd Cox.
Yep.
Well,
So, or go ahead.
sorry. There's the other one that's rumored who we all try to contact on Facebook, which I forget his name, but we never, because it was always rumored he was in the vehicle, but there was never anything to like solidify it. But I'm going blank on his name.
It was the brother, Robert.
Robert Gazort also, he knew where the body was.
Yeah.
So he wasn't in the car,
Okay.
but they showed him where the body was.
So, but one person was officially indicted. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Which was Lundy.
Mm-hmm.
Lundy.
Okay. And they never had a trial date?
No.
No.
Okay. So they just
We heard-
essentially dropped the case.
We heard they lost the records, is
Mhm.
what I've heard. Different record people, because I've called all over Wyoming, Fayette, Raleigh County. If there was a phone call there, we've made it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were told that like somebody, a deputy could go into Fayette County, pick up a record, walk out with it, no signing in or out.
Right.
The olden days.
And that was with all of them, the
Mhm.
state police. And as long as you had a uniform on, you could go in.
Yeah.
So,
they didn't have to make copies. They just would take the original file.
Right.
The last
Well-
person that I know of that handled the case would be the prosecuting attorney, and that was Canterbury.
Mm-hmm.
There was back in the 70s after Martha
Mm-hmm.
went to the police, and William Carl Trump went to the police. It was Ralph Bailey was a state trooper, and
Birchfield.
what was Birchfield's first name? I forget. Right, yeah, I know it. I know him
know
by
it.
heart. But he was a deputy, and they interviewed everybody. They flew to Oregon
Mm-hmm.
and did a lie detector test on them.
Right.
Because
And Sylvia Cox Gazort, I
Mhm.
believe it is,
Right.
was married to not James,
Robert.
Okay.
and she went up to the area where my dad was buried at, but Robert's the one that got out and went to the grave.
Okay.
And Stowey was overheard, which is the Gazort's mother, was overheard saying, "Now don't say nothing, because if they leave here today, you'll never have to worry about it again."
Now, who heard that?
The police officers.
Okay.
It's in their records.
It's in
Gotcha.
the records.
Okay.
But Sylvia had told them out in the hallway, because they did her lie detector test with her husband sitting beside her.
Mm.
So while they were in there doing his test, she came out in the hallway and was talking and said she lied. She knew she failed.
Gotcha. All right. I do want to clarify a couple things. So the indictment, have you seen the indictment?
No, it's
That's-
lost.
So that one's one of them that's lost.
I have.
Okay.
I got the I thought it was the file number,
Mhm.
and we've been up to the courthouse to try to get the minutes or the recording of the. They can't find it,
Okay.
and I mean, we were told. That's another one that we were told 4 different stories on. It's on the 4th floor. It's in the basement. Now it's in North Carolina.
Sure. Well, there's been a few cases that had records troubles. I do know, like Raleigh County had some amazing investigators in the 70s. Like Frank Pack is one of the best investigators you could find. But that being said, there have been instances where records have
Been lost.
been lost.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
They moved buildings. They had a flood.
Had a flood, had a
sure,
fire.
and that's
so-
every courthouse across the country,
There's
like
always
until
a
they
flood.
digitized it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like as far as records go, like
Mhm.
we've never been really that good.
But what made me mad about the records And while we were digging further and further,
Yeah.
we went to Raleigh County Sheriff's Office, and
Wow, everybody.
this
we
was
talked to.
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was a different
Probably in the
sheriff at the time,
19th. It was probably around
and
2009.
this guy come out to talk to us, and we were telling him what we wanted. We wanted these records and things, and we at one point just wanted to see the evidence
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted to hold Dad's dog tags. We figured we wouldn't be able to take them, but we wanted to see them.
Sure.
And he told us, this came from the deputy, that
And we don't know who it is, so we won't
no, because I didn't
speculate
even
on who
bother
it was.
taking his name because when we left there, we knew nothing was going to come of it.
Mm.
But we've been told that by everybody we talked to, we had to wait 60 years for the Freedom of Information Act
Yeah, even though we're
because our names weren't on the report.
but
It depends on the status of the case.
Mm-hmm.
but with this guy, he told us, and his exact words was, I don't know about the missing persons report or the murder ones,
Right.
but it might be up there on the 4th floor courthouse because that's where the property tax records were being held from that area before the flood happened.
Right.
And we
So
both
he
said,
let us
"Thank
know
God they
that-
saved the tax stuff."
Your ground tax records are safe,
Yeah, thank God.
but the murder and missing people's reports are
Oh,
up in
God.
the air.
Well, what got us was everybody that told us, and she had like a record number. Everybody told us we had to wait the 60 years. But, nobody told us that the records weren't there.
Yeah, they just told us we had to wait 6
Yeah,
years.
just wait.
And then when I called the West Virginia State Police, the records room, and she put in Dad's name, and she put in Trump's name, and she put in the Mad Butcher, and nothing was coming up. And I said, well, I got this file here, and it's got these numbers stamped all over on every page, and I can show you the report.
Right.
And she says, well, give me the number. And that was the case file number.
Mhm.
She says, oh, here it is.
From the 70s.
But yeah, we don't have anything from 71. It's 70 and before.
So before, like the 7 years before that, you haven't
Nothing.
seen anything.
No.
Okay. So supposedly the indictment hit in the 60s,
No, the indictment was in 72.
72. Okay. Gotcha.
Going by the
and-
records that we have.
Yeah.
So it does mention an indictment in the records you have.
Yeah, and I have the
Okay.
indictment.
So you do have it.
But I don't have the minutes, and I just have the file number.
Yeah, they can't
Just the
find
file
it.
number. So we don't know the details.
Right.
No.
Okay.
And
And this is important to clarify because I want to note to people like, all the names mentioned. Obviously, you can have whatever opinion you want. It's your opinion that this is exactly what happened. The goal now is just finding where
Yes.
he is.
Well,
Okay.
We've been
Although we haven't seen any official charges on any of these individuals stating what
except for
potentially
Lundy
happened,
Trump. Yeah.
except for Lundy Trump.
He got indicted.
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
But when we sent out all these letters, it got to the CID and the Raleigh County prosecutor's office, and those two have just taken the ball and run with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guys now. There's so many people working this case now.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
And I think back in the 70s, where I got records, Birchfield, and it's really bothering me. I can't think of his
Oh,
first
look
name.
at the records. But Birchfield and Bailey
and Bailey
took it and ran. And they had,
Cool. Yeah. And everyone's process is different. And also, too, our brains think different. There could be some people thinking, oh, they got in a bar fight. This ain't worth my time,
No.
But now there's other people that's we could probably find James.
Mhm.
Let's try to do
because
it.
they looked at the report.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
What was redacted?
Everything.
the CID, when they requested the case file in just this past April
Mhm.
or June, what they got was redacted. I met with her. Well, we met with her for 4 hours.
Mhm.
She copied every one of my papers. Then when we came up here in
August.
early August, we met with state police. What's his name? He was from the Justice Department. He copied my records because their records were all redacted.
Gotcha. Pull that mic over to you. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You can
Which,
pull it. You can pull it with
The
you.
sheriff's department copied my records that I have from you guys.
Mhm.
So
Every place we went,
and
they had to copy our files.
Yep.
Because we had the only unredacted copy that my mother had.
Uh-huh.
and I believe that was Bailey, because Bailey used to call my mother, and Birchfield and Bailey used to call my mom. I'm sorry,
You're fine. You're fine. No apologies.
and keep her updated on what they found and what they were going to do and things like that.
And they're mostly the conversations we overheard.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are people who care.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. There's always been people that cared, but
I think it was, you know,
Human error.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was the 60s.
yeah, that's all it was. But
You know, they didn't have computers.
Yeah.
Everything that they did had to have carbon, you know. So, I mean,
Well, I think about this all the time. So many of these cases that we cover, Mark, like can't possibly not be solved today.
right.
yeah.
Like it would be impossible for these things to happen today for various reasons, whether it's surveillance or, you know, the cars would have, you know, some type of way to track GPS or all
yeah.
kinds of different things. So,
from the beginning, we don't know. We're not saying nobody did anything in the 60s
Or
because
not.
because we've gotten to know the people in West Virginia
Mhm.
through our families and stuff, and very nice people.
Thank you.
And we don't think that the police and stuff didn't do anything.
Sure. Yeah.
We think that
They just got lost.
it got lost.
You're frustrated. Your dad disappeared. You've
That's
never
what it
known
is.
him.
Yeah.
And you want to know where he is. I mean,
Right.
people understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And we'd like to know the 60s files. That's, you know, although they may be more gruesome than what we have.
Which
Yeah.
to me, like in my mind, 60s, you know, he was killed in Raleigh County,
Mhm.
taken to Wyoming County. To me, the two departments need to like join together. But
And that's what they're doing now.
yeah.
So
like,
Wyoming County's working on it too?
well,
I'm not sure who.
Okay.
I know
Gotcha.
I spoke to Epling in Raleigh County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. And he was going to go look for the records and everything.
Sure.
And well, we've been asking people for years to go talk to one of Trump's, to Carl Trump, because he knew. And we understand that people were afraid of Lundy while he was alive.
mhm.
I totally get that because it's even in one
And
of
I
the police
think
reports.
He was what, 14?
No, he was Tom's age, so he was 11.
Yeah.
10 or 11 when it happened. But Lundy took him to that area
hmm
and was going to show him where he buried Dad, and took him up so far and said, "No, I can't do that because if I showed you where, I'd have to leave you dead right there with him."
Goodness gracious.
A father to a son, you know. So, and that's what we don't blame anybody.
Mhm.
And we know everybody was afraid of the three men.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some consorts that won't talk to the Trumps because they talk to us.
Mm. So there's still
know.
some beef going?
Yeah.
Oh.
And their
Yeah.
brother, Lundy Trump and James Consort are brother-in-laws.
Trump married Consort's sister.
Yeah. And Cox, I believe, is a cousin of the court, the Cazorts. And now the Trump family, my grandparents knew Lundy Trump's parents and stuff, and said they were the sweetest people.
Right.
Yeah, my nanny said that.
Yeah, and when I talked to your nanny, she told me that Lundy Trump's parents just don't understand what happened.
Listen, every family's got black sheep.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the one in our family. So,
I
you
think
know,
we're the ones in our family.
I'm just kidding. My family listens to the show. Y'all know I love you.
I think he was a bad apple. And then when he fell in with the Cazorts.
Right.
It spiraled.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Well,
because-
it's been 60 years. Let's find.
In
him.
Trump's own words, where we grew up thinking Lundy Trump was the ringleader. And everybody was afraid of Lundy Trump because of what we heard from, him running over people's bicycles that was sitting at the gas station. And, he was that kind of guy. And so all of our life, it was always Lundy Trump, Lundy Trump, Lundy Trump. But they offered Lundy immunity if he would just show where the body was.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
He said no.
And you know what he said? His mother-in-law, Stoli Gazort, would come back and ambush him.
What?
So it wasn't really.
It's all in the
Trump.
paperwork.
That was like
they weren't just afraid of Trump.
right.
They were afraid of Stoli Gazort. And I'm not saying that anything about anybody that I don't have in their own words would happen.
Sure, I got you.
Stowie's other kids, I don't know anything about. The other Cox people, I don't know anything about them. Or, we're not after the families.
People understand. I mean, you got decades and decades of just looking at words and hearing from people. You know what I mean?
And reading newspapers.
Yeah.
And like when we did come up to West Virginia, we heard about everything we missed out on. Yeah. Stories from his sister and his brothers. And, he would bring them coins every time he came home in a sock.
Yeah.
Because his two little brothers.
His brothers were a little bit older than my brother at the time. So they were probably between 11 and 15.
Right.
Yeah.
So he'd keep all of his change in his socks and give it to the two youngest kids when he came home.
Sure.
Or he picked his sister up, who's, because of her job, had to have perfect hair. She still has to have perfect hair and everything. She's dynamite. But he picked her up and dunked her in a water barrel. So to mess up her hair.
Nice.
Because that's how he knew her.
Sure.
He was a jokester.
Yeah.
Mom would tell us that when we were born and we'd go to the doctors, Dad would wrap us up in one blanket. So when he got into the office and he flipped the thing over, people would see two heads pop out. Or he'd do...
he changed our diaper pins so Mom would get confused on who was who.
And Mama was telling him that he messed up. Or in the middle of it, he would forget which one was which and stuff. And
right.
And my brother would tell us stories, about popcorn. Because over in Germany in the 60s, corn was for the animals.
Right.
So the people that lived next door to them or something was
upstairs,
German.
the old man.
And Tom called them Uma and Oompa.
Grandma and grandpa in German.
And took them up some popcorn that they had never had before. And Dad had to go up to tell them that, you can eat it. Just put butter on it.
So, and your brother, I mean, he's got a lot of core memories because they're raised until 10 years old. That's like, there's a lot that's happened. My daughter's 11. Like, we've done a lot of crap.
And my son and some of her sons, the memory is...
Yeah, my brother's memory was, he just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And, and I mean, he's someone that would tell us that's where we heard most of the stories from. You know, Dad did this.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah.
Dad did that, and our cousins and stuff, and you know,
My mom's nieces and nephews and were older, you know, and they would tell us stories about my dad doing stuff with them.
right.
You know.
Man, how sad for your mom to. So she passed away, never knowing.
97.
What was she thinking around toward the end? Was she just like, you know?
well, Mom never remarried
No.
because she said she found her man,
Oh man.
and we always thought about.
You got to take a shot of liquor now. That's the rules on the show. When the phone beeps.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm
Gotta
kidding.
hit the thing on the side.
Oh, on the side. But
I don't have to. Nobody ever calls me.
I'll call you more. I'm
it's
sorry.
Uncle Dallas.
Oh, was it?
But yeah, he was a good man. He was a toaster. He was Mom just never remarried. Never.
How old was she when he disappeared?
29.
28 or 29.
Wow. So she went her whole life, and
Yeah.
How long has she been? When did she pass away?
97.
97.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you'll get things in stereo.
So she was what, 63?
She's our age.
I was gonna say it's young.
And she I mean, till the day she died, she was calling people and writing people, and
When she was in the hospital, it was like around her birthday. She had like so many flowers from family members that, you know, and they had her on morphine. And she was talking to Dad. Look at all these flowers. They're all for you.
Oh.
She thought she was at his funeral.
Did she have cancer?
yeah, she
Oh.
had pancreas and liver cancer.
I'm sorry, y'all.
So it was like a month that she was sick.
Yeah.
You know, and she was gone.
She was
We
already
always
in
thought
stage
she was.
4.
We always thought she was Wonder Woman because
She bounced back.
she'd be in the hospital. She had, you know, a lot of health issues, and
Like
blood
flowers.
clots, heart attacks, you
She
name it.
died twice.
Yeah, and we just thought she was Wonder Woman.
And she always came back.
And when they came up and told me that she had stage 4 cancer, I'm like, okay, so now what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the doctor just looked at me and started crying. You know,
Oh.
but she was a good woman. She, you know, she raised.
People
Us
from
by
the
herself.
hospital came to the.
Well, she's raised 2 awesome daughters. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
So y'all have. This is really. I hope we got a search happening Friday, which that's before this episode releases. So hopefully we
Okay.
find out some good
Yeah.
freaking news here. So
Yeah. I don't know who all's going to be up there. You know.
what's
That's
what can we talk about with that? Like, what spurred this new search to happen?
In April,
Mm-hmm.
me and Linda sent out all those.
Because we've been nice. We've been calling people and they've been blowing us off and everything. So we just decided, well, Brenda decided that we should expand it.
Oh, the pamphlets out in the car.
So we sent
The pamphlets out in the car. That we sent.
these little pamphlets. Well, Mark has one, don't you? We gave him,
think
one, didn't we?
Oh, this is one. What am I looking
I
right
thought we
at
gave Mark one.
If
But we
it,
did.
We were here in August.
yeah,
No,
But-
I didn't see you guys in August.
Oh,
No?
that was
No,
your
I
fault.
saw you last year.
if it,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But here's
I think I
we
might have been
mailed
gone.
this
yeah,
here, let Mark see it too.
to
Thank you, sir.
President Trump all the way down the Army. Anything my
Pentagon.
mother had written to.
We sent it to the Pentagon.
Yeah, we sent it, and we sent it to the FBI.
it's like 10-point font, single space, y'all.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole story about my dad. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's. I mean, there's a lot here.
we sent it
sorry, I
like
don't
to
think so.
Fayette County, Raleigh County, Wyoming County, sheriff's, prosecuting attorney's office, and everything. And
Fox News,
yeah, and
Dateline,
we heard back from
the CID first.
Truman,
Who?
the prosecuting attorney.
Oh,
Truman.
yeah.
Did he call you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And he was a very nice guy. I mean, he surprised me because it was the first phone call we got. And,
He's a good dude.
Fayette County prosecuting attorney returned it, refused. Is what it, and I still have that
They
envelope.
never opened it.
Nope. It just says refused on the front of it and sent back to us. But everybody else.
There's a good prosecutor. I mean, I don't know many bad prosecutors, but they got a good one too. So it's hard to tell I wonder what happened there. Seemed like they would have,
But
They probably recognize the name on the envelope.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
She's a bothersome.
Right.
Yeah, because I've called
It's like,
him.
oh, that's that lady that,
Yeah.
It's just the lady that
Went
has
up and
been
down.
harassing me for
Right.
forever. Because this isn't something we just started.
No, we've been doing it. I've got a
We've been-
video of the inside of the house.
Yeah, we've been doing it since we were like 18. As soon as we could get, right people. Linda's got a return check
Yeah.
from
From Capitol.
wasn't it?
No, it was from the governor's office.
Oh yeah,
What was the check?
Yeah.
yeah,
Returned because I wanted a copy of the record.
Oh, you were paying for the copies.
yeah. And that was
Okay.
in '85. Was
Yes.
that in '85? And I mean, so this is stuff that we've been doing, but we got tired of being nice.
So we sent these out.
When people saying that this one's responsible for the case and this one's saying that. So,
Oh, here.
we wrote that up and sent it
Well,
out.
there's a thing called good trouble of like raising a stir because, loudest voice in the room sometimes gets the most action. So
Yeah.
that's just how it is. Yeah.
We weren't raised that way.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I get, listen, I'm shy. I'm like, oh yeah, no one lies. Everyone's just so honest in this world, but then it just takes one time to where you see what a narcissist or what something different
Yeah.
Mhm.
than your mind frame is. And you're like, oh, the world's not what I thought it was,
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah, because
pick up my black?
we've never thought that people didn't work on the case or people didn't care about
Yeah,
the
because
case.
we didn't hear.
But it was
No.
communication, I think, back then was the biggest problem.
Well,
Because the Army couldn't do anything. Well, they said they couldn't do anything. But they had to wait until his 45-day leave up. And then they had to wait, consider him AWOL for 30 days. And then deserted for so long. And then by that time, they said that they had to...
they wait
that-
that long for someone who goes
Yeah.
missing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, back then,
Yeah.
surely not now. I mean,
Well, they had to let us leave up.
right.
And then we got papers of what is it called? Accommodations.
Yeah.
From my dad's
Last commander.
commanders and stuff saying that he's sorry he couldn't promote him while he was there in Germany. And he was supposed to send it to his commanding officer in
Fort Knox.
Fort Knox. And Mom laughed when she seen it because Dad had gotten so many of those papers to pass on to future, acknowledging him on something or other. And he would not give it to him,
Right.
because he didn't want the, I guess the praise or whatever. He just did what he did,
Right.
Phew. But Dad joined the military in Ravencliff, and I got that in the paperwork. I even know who signed him up. His last name was
Mathis.
Mathis.
And that's our brother's last name.
And
Oh, wow.
Coincidence everywhere.
on his 17th
Ain't it
birthday,
weird? Yeah.
he signed up down there in Ravencliff.
Mm.
And that's where
Disappeared.
his service ended.
You know what I love about y'all? You finish each other's sentences, and it's so cute. I'm just
It's
saying.
annoying.
No, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get stuff in stereo.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Y'all, you can just sense the love in the room. So,
From us.
and we were saying, so I wanted to talk about how the search came about. So you started sending out pamphlets. Tom Truman called, and then
And
the
they
CID.
called.
gotcha.
And we actually met. She came to our house,
Mm-hmm.
and I showed her everything I had, and they didn't have it. she copied every paper that I had because the Army didn't have it.
Right.
And see, I got a piece of paper because stating that in May 22nd of 1964, there was a Mad Butcher Task Force.
Mhm. It lists.
Raleigh County prosecuting attorneys and sheriffs.
It was like 25.
It was Raleigh County. Yeah, it was Raleigh County, Fayette County, Wyoming County, the FBI, and the CID. It was 25 people that was supposed to be in that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has the minutes to it.
There's no record of it except for the one we have.
Yeah, and that's just saying all the meeting. We expect you here at Raleigh County Sheriff's Office at this time, but nobody has records of it. We can't get to the FBI. She went up to the FBI building and was escorted off the property.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
It was a good try.
And followed home.
yeah.
Nice.
So
I'm kind of like, it's pretty impressive.
Sometimes you just got to do stuff.
Right.
And,
our kids.
You did? I'm trying to picture this. You just went up and was like, okay, now I'm just going to come in here and you're going to tell me.
I fully witnessed them going past no trespass sign.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
We didn't see it until we were leaving.
Well, I know that. Out.
Oh,
yeah.
If we're on a mission, I like to see things completed.
Yeah.
Because
I think everyone does. But
if I find a rabbit hole, I will climb in that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We went looking for, this was with Mark. We went looking for, what was it? Upper Big Branch.
Uh-huh.
Upper Big Branch. Road.
And we couldn't find it anywhere. And then we decided the name was in that.
It did come up on our Google Maps.
Yeah, there is a road that
there's 2 or 3 of them
to the area.
But they happen to be at the, what was that? Appalachian Power?
No, you just didn't say Appalachian. I still love you. But it's Appalachian, ladies.
Oh,
I know you're above the Mason-Dixon line or whatever.
We're south of the Mason-Dixon
Okay,
line.
well, it's got to be Appalachian.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Appalachian. Like,
Appalachian.
so here's a good way. When someone says it wrong, tell them you're going to throw an apple, like Appalachia. I'm going to throw an apple at you. So you'll say Appalachia, right?
That's
funny. How rude of me to correct you on that.
No,
that. But I need an alarm in here when someone says Appalachia because it's happened a few times. But yeah, so Upper Big Branch Road.
Yeah.
This isn't the one where the explosion.
No,
this ain't near Montcalm.
This is Wyoming County.
Okay,
Yeah.
different place.
So we found it and we went over the little hill and they have a big power grid up here now. And
It was a coal.
But Upper
place
Big
back in
Branch
the
went
day.
this way. And it was a little dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
So we followed it as far as we could,
Yeah.
looking for a beech tree. And none of us know what a beech tree looked like because there's so many different varieties.
Do we have peach trees here?
Yeah.
Beach.
We do.
Beach.
We
Okay.
do have. I have one saved in my phone for.
That sounds like a Florida fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Not
Georgia.
peach, not peach, beech.
Beach. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Beach tree.
Okay.
So
Got
we
it.
went down that road and we went up those side roads down there.
And that building where that guy with the lawnmower.
Mm-hmm.
We went back down there.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
did you?
Yeah. There was
Lord.
a man. Now it's a paramedic place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Behind a power grid, there's a building, and that used to be coal mine buildings and stuff. Now it's paramedics, evidently.
Huh.
But there was a man
It
cutting
looked
the
like
grass,
it was a way station or something at one time.
and I have a tendency to talk to anybody about anything
forever.
Shout out.
forever. But this was good. We talked to this man, and he knew. What was it he told us? I forget now.
That's where we found out about the wedding quilt.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's that?
That was actually wrapped in because Lundy Trump's mother was mad at Lundy because he wrapped Dad in the wedding quilt that she had made for him.
How are there this many details floating around and then
I'm telling you.
There's a lot of cases like that.
well, I know, but that's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
you know
You know.
I mean, you all pretty much know
It's
in your like what happened in your opinion. Like
The-
it's
tavern owner that was in there at the time when this happened,
Right.
he said that no, that Dad wasn't in there. He don't remember a soldier. But in a later conversation with the police, he told them that Lundy would come in and talk about the soldier, and he would change the subject because he was afraid of Lundy Trump. So that tells me that even, if
It was the owner of Bolt Tavern.
yeah. So he's seen Dad in there, but he lied because he was afraid of Lundy Trump.
Yeah. I mean, and I give people benefit of the doubt. I mean, it sounds like he was just
Trying to stay
borderline
alive.
psychopath walking around,
Yeah.
Trying to-
just doing whatever he wanted,
People were just trying to stay alive.
Sure.
And really, we've been talking the fact that things didn't get done is we think that the police or whoever was afraid for their family.
Yeah,
'Cause like you said,
that's
he
popped
was-
in our head too,
You
'cause-
know,
No, I understand that. And I'm going to say, like, that's the only thing is like these West Virginia investigators typically
mhm.
are afraid of nothing. The ones I've seen from
Yeah.
back then, but
I don't think they'd
I
be-
think that's what's thrown so much confusion in it is that first 8 years when y'all were just
Mhm.
running around playing with toys and trying to figure out,
Mhm.
life.
where's Dad?
Yeah. Well, when you were 6, 7 years old, you probably, were definitely wanting.
People
Well,
used to.
something, but-
I remember in kindergarten or first grade,
And church.
and they would
You always
tell
had
you
to
you had to take. You always had to take papers home to your mom and dad.
Mhm.
And I remember yelling at the teacher that I didn't have a dad,
Oh,
and went across the room and got Linda,
Yeah.
and we ran home to talk to Mom and why we didn't have a dad.
But we'd always have to make Father's Day presents in school
Yeah,
and church, and we'd give them to my brother or our cousins or,
oh, that's sweet.
because we didn't have anybody to give it to.
Sure.
And then when we got older, we would take it down to the cemetery. Now what we do is we make wreaths or crosses or something, and we take it to the nearest VFW hall,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Nice.
especially on Memorial Day.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That the first 8 years of records is just so vital because maybe someone was doing something, but you don't know because you can't read about it.
Right.
And then everyone around is like, I don't know. I was like not alive then.
That's a name
Well, see,
keeps
that's a-
coming up as, and I think it was in that time period, was I.P. Richardson was working the case. And I believe that was from the 8 years that we don't know because he's not in my records that much.
Right.
And I have the original West Virginia State Police record, and I got a lot of information from Maryland State Police because Maryland State Police did not close their records until Lundy Trump was
Indicted.
because he was still missing. So Maryland didn't close their case, and it was in the 90s. I called them because rabbit hole, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So I said, I wonder if Maryland's got anything on there. And they sent me over to the cold case unit, and he says, and I told him who it was, and he went, "Oh my God, you're kidding me." He says, "I was just getting ready to shred the record. I literally had it in my hand yesterday and seeing that somebody was indicted, so our case was closed. If you want to, you can come on down here and get the record."
Wow.
And it shows in Maryland State Police where they have been in contact with the West Virginia State Police, the Beckley and Maven detachments.
Up until the 70s.
So that's when I started on the the West Virginia State Police. No, you got records somewhere,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand small,
Well, at the same time too, they like
'Cause-
they're very protective of files, but also there's a combination of things. Sometimes they're actively working on it and they can't tell you anything
Mhm.
because they don't
Yeah.
want to screw up the potential trial. I don't think that's what happened here. Sometimes records disappear. Sometimes people are too hard-headed. sometime,
Could
you
have
know,
been maybe in West Virginia, maybe in the detachment thought that Beckley was handling it, and Beckley thought that they
confusion.
might have ignored it.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Salisville.
So
I said Salisville,
yeah.
where he was headed.
So I mean, it's a lot of things that could happen and that happened wrong
Sure. Why was he going to
But-
Salisville again?
to see his
See his
parents.
parents.
Oh, to see his parents. Okay, so they lived in Salisville.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a pretty area.
And when we were down here before, we traveled from Salisville.
Oak Hill.
Well, we went from Oak Hill to Salisville, but we went from Salisville to Ravencliff.
17.
Dad only had 16 to 17 miles to make it to home before he was murdered. This is a Korean War vet that got shot in the chest. It came out a hole in his back. They said you could put your fist in it. Spent a year and a half in recovery. Finished 12 more years of service.
And was home
And it's
And
not even
died-
3 weeks.
and it's also somebody who's not going to take lip from rednecks. I'm guessing. Like,
Yeah.
I can see how something fired up and it got out of hand, and then
But we
disaster
were always told
struck.
Dad wouldn't start an argument. Dad would walk away when he could.
just finish it.
But
That
if
type
he
of thing.
couldn't, but if he couldn't walk away, he'd finish it.
Right.
But B told us Dad picked up a suitcase and walked
Left.
out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I mean,
I-
that side of the story, we didn't hear until
until we met B in 19,
yeah.
because we heard that there was a big brawl fight, and
Yeah.
and from what I understand, Dad could hold his own, because I got 5 boys, and I'm gonna tell you, they all can hold their own. So must run in the family. But
Yeah.
but I think he opted to walk away.
Yeah. 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 You mentioned 16 miles. So, Bolt to Oceana would be like, yeah. And then Oceana to Pineville to Salisville.
Oh no, he would have went over
How would
Little
he-
Bolt
Little boat.
through Glen Rogers, then to Salisville.
See, I don't know that road.
16
Yeah.
miles.
Okay.
Yeah, because it would have been straight on that road, because you got to think the big roads wasn't here yet.
Does that come out at the convenience store down there? Or where does
Mhm.
that? Okay. So I haven't
Yeah.
been that road. Okay. Gotcha. I'm
Yeah,
with you
it's
now.
like you get to a certain spot, you can go left to Glen Rogers, or you can go towards like McGraw's and
We
all
did that too.
Yeah, we did that.
Y'all just all over these haulers.
We got
Well,
lost.
We want to know.
Right.
We
No.
stopped at this little convenience store, and I forget the area, but it's like in a triangle.
hmm
Do you know where I'm talking about?
And when
No,
you
I
go
know where
there,
you're talking about. It's
when
a
you go
Three
there-
Fork. It's there's
Something
a
like that.
Jason's convenience store there. Is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah.
So we went in and to use the powder room, but also to see where we were.
Yeah, because we
We
asked
were
for
lost.
directions where Little Boat Mountain was, and she says, "Well, where'd you come from?"
It's an
Yeah,
Easy
that
Stop,
way.
wasn't it? Easy Stop. It
think-
had a
I
green
think
logo
it's
on the.
Easy
I think it's
Stop
Easy
now.
Stop now.
But it was I think something.
The
I
walls
forget.
owned it.
Well, if it was 2019, it'd have been Jason's.
Yeah, I think it was that then Easy Stop.
Yeah. They had a
Yeah.
thing that said they had frog legs, maybe
Yeah.
on there.
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I know what you're talking about. My great grandma actually lived like right there. Like you could throw a rock from the convenience store to
And
where
it
my
has
grandma
like
lived.
one. Didn't it have a gas pump?
Yeah, a little gas
Yep.
pump on the
Yep.
backside
I know
of
what
it.
you're talking about.
It was so
But
cute.
we went in there, and we asked her where Little Boat was, and she says, "Why are you looking for Little Boat?" And we told her, and she said, "Which way did you come?" And we told her, and she said, "You just came over Little Boat."
You got to turn around.
And then she says, "What was that name again?" And we told her we're looking, because of our dad. And she went, "Oh my heavens, you're not going to believe this." Brad, her husband, is the one that found Dad's skull. Well, the skull they thought was Dad's
Mhm.
Wow.
when he was deer hunting.
You know what's crazy? I've talked to this lady. She's messaged me
Oh, really?
and told me about when they found
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he got arrested for having a gun in the wrong county during deer hunting.
Did he?
Yeah.
No.
He
But
was
the
going
judge
from
laughed
one
and passed
county
him.
to the other to go hunting. And when he found, the skull and everything, he just called the police and stayed where he was.
Done the right thing, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way."
And then
Yeah.
the judge the next day, when they said his name, said, "Aren't you the one that found that body?" He was like, "Yeah, that's why I got arrested."
Oh my God!
So he got let go, but
Come on,
Yeah,
West
and-
Virginia.
Yeah, we've been so
it's a funny story. I'm
Oh
sure he
man, I
was-
mean it's dark, but you gotta laugh at
Yeah.
some point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just so depressing.
it's just it's such weird
I'm just
things
thinking
happen.
of looking at her face because the look on her face when she realized who we were.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not going to say the last name is Debbie, where Trump used to live at.
Mhm.
When we got there and we were looking at, digging up and everything, she talked to me and my brother. If my brother wasn't there, we wouldn't have been able to answer any question
Yeah.
that Debbie had. Was he a jokester? And Tom's like, oh yeah. And she says, I've had this song stuck in my head since we moved in this place. And one day she asked her husband what it was. And he looked
She
it up.
never
and,
heard it before.
and he says, and she says it was north to Alaska. And my brother could have fell over in that chair.
No way.
He turned pale and he went, oh my, that's what Dad sung all the time or whistled all the time.
way.
Because they had seen the movie over in Germany. And my cousin, the same thing when we came
Mhm.
back and told them that, how my brother reacted.
Yeah.
And like we were going over Little Boat one day and I told Linda, I said, stop, I want to get a rock. I just want to get a rock.
We just wanted something.
We're
from
not going to get
them.
anything else from Boat Mountain, but I want a rock. And we went over and we met with Debbie, and there she stands with a gallon baggie with 4 rocks in it, one for each one of us. And she says, something told me this morning to give you guys a rock.
These
You needed a
rocks.
rock.
What?
Yeah. True. I mean, true.
Wow.
Just
And-
coincidences and
And she keeps telling us they didn't go far enough. They didn't go. And she told us this from
from day one.
Mhm.
She says, your dad's behind me. And she says, they didn't go far enough. I don't know what that means, but I'm telling you, they didn't go far enough.
She's not.
Is she a medium?
No,
No,
not at all.
but
She's not crazy. She's
she's not. It's just something. I don't know.
And we went in
And-
the house,
and
and
then-
then we felt, something too.
Yeah, and I never believed in anything like
Mm-hmm.
And then
But
come
so
to
many
find out, we were
coincidences.
talking to Ralph Bailey, right?
Ralph Bailey.
Is that his name? Mr. Bailey, the one that we seen that owns that.
No, it wasn't
Look here.
Bailey. It was.
It wasn't Brooks, because Brooks is where the property's at.
I think it was a Brooks.
Maybe. Anyway,
Shout out potential person.
yes,
Yeah.
very nice
I
man.
have a semi list of all the people we want to
But-
thank.
Oh yeah. We'll
I
go
don't-
through it.
A guy at the post office, and I don't know his name, gave me.
Yeah, this is
I
weird.
think she's right. It was Brooks. Name and phone number,
Mhm.
and told us where we could find him. So we went over there.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
come to find out, he was the one that worked the backhoe. Because back in the day, we heard that was thrown in a well.
Mhm.
So
They went around and
they
dug up wells.
every time my uncles and my grandfather got a lead, they went and looked and dug and whatever. But they spent 3 days up there digging up a well. And, of course, didn't find Dad and everything. But that well is down the road from where we believe he's at now.
Hmm.
It wasn't a water well, it was a gas well.
And that's where the search is happening.
Yeah. At
Okay.
the old London Brooks house is where it is what happened.
Lyndon Brooks. Right.
London.
And listeners, disclaimer: do not go to this place.
Well,
Oh,
the
they
house
can't.
burnt down
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
in 59.
Mm-hmm.
So we think, and he, from what we heard, I don't know, he was the moonshiner. And the
He made the shine.
and,
Lundy, Trump, and the consorts ran it for him.
and I don't know if it was him that did it, but somebody up there was the moonshiner. But
Mhm.
Lyndon Brooks' house burned down in 59. And it took all these years to find out where Lyndon Brooks lived. we were looking for him, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for a place.
And it's up the street. It's up the road from where they dug up that well at.
Oh, wow.
And it's right behind Debbie's house.
Do you know how big of a patch they're going to search?
There's 2 search areas.
Okay.
Actually.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And it's a big search areas. So that's all I was told. It's
Mhm.
they got 2 great places they're going to look, and they're big,
Mhm.
Gotcha.
but they're looking for a beech tree, and we don't know if Dad's dog tags are still on
In
that
the
beech tree or not,
I think
or if the bark might have grew over them.
So they said, I must have missed that. They said that they put dog tags
Mhm.
On a tree.
tree. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the dog tags are on the tree, but I think Lundy Trump took the chain
Yeah.
because it's noted in the police file that he had a GI chain with a boot,
Yeah. A copper boot on there.
copper boot on there. I
And-
don't know where the boot came from.
That could have been something that picked up along the way.
Hmm.
You know, his wife didn't know where it came from, but he also had a little chest, and I heard later that he made it while he was in the the psych ward. Before this, he was in there evidently before this happened with Dad. But he had a chest that he had my dad's stuff in, and told his kids not to touch that because the stuff inside belonged to a dead man.
Oh, wow.
And also, when he was arrested,
Yeah.
there was my dad's newspaper clipping
Mhm.
about my dad in his wallet.
That's what was told to you.
Mhm.
It's in the paperwork.
That's in the police file. He had a picture of your dad.
He
Mhm.
had yeah, but I heard that they found the wallet, and they sent it, and I don't know who it was, but she was a postmaster or something.
Mhm.
But they sent it to Social Security, and that Social Security supposedly sent it back to them.
Hmm.
And they burnt it.
It wasn't the plastic one they found.
Yeah, it wasn't the plastic one. It was another one. But it had an ID in there, and they believe it said Hayes or Haynes. But
That's
it would have had his parents' address.
Right.
she keeps moving, doesn't
I'm
she?
sorry.
No, you're great.
It would have had Saul's
Mine's staying still.
because they had that was his address.
Sure.
Was his parents' address.
And
Because-
when you say files, to give people listening to the audio only version a visual interpretation of this binder you have, it's about 6 inches thick. How many is this everything you have?
No.
No.
Oh, that's just a fraction.
This is the my main. Linda
You're-
told somebody wanted to take it to make copies, and I went.
No.
Linda's like, no, that's her Bible.
Mm.
That's my dad's case Bible
Mhm.
because I got everything from all the police departments, every place Mom's ever wrote to, and
Yeah.
I used to have a list in here of everybody that I called, when I called them, and who I called,
Yeah.
and what their response was. But I don't know. I think I got mad one day and just ripped it all up, saying this ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
You know, so
I wish I could find the emails of you blasting out these podcasts that got stuff wrong before you got blocked.
but I wasn't blasting.
Oh, I got you. You were just like, this is the facts, actually.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we don't
Yeah.
want to hear that. Get
Yeah.
off our
It might
page.
still be on there, the conversation John and I had.
Gotcha.
is.
Okay.
They call him Bam,
Mhm.
was his nickname.
Yeah, but
I've always called him John. And he was like, my nickname, Bam, right? And I was like, well, no, but I like John.
Yeah.
He was a sweet man. He had a little girl. He loved her. So when we talked, we were talking about stuff from his mom, and then you would tell me about his daughter and everything.
Yeah. That's weirdly comforting for me that you all befriended each other. I don't know. It's
Well, it's kind of like we have a connection.
sure.
it's a morbid one, but they had nothing to gain or anything by it. They lost out a lot just by having that father there,
Sure. Yeah. Having an abusive family member or a parent is very traumatic.
His kids, when he came home, they would have food put in what they called sacks.
Right.
And the kids took off for the woods. They would spend a night or two in the woods and go to school, get to the bus, and go to school like 2 or 3 days with the same clothes on because they couldn't go home.
Loretta would work in the cafeteria. The oldest girl would work in the cafeteria to help pay for her brothers and sisters to eat lunch because that was the only meal they got. And that's where she got to know
my great grandmother.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, more importantly, who has prettier foliage, Maryland or West Virginia?
Oh,
West Virginia.
You think so?
Oh,
Okay.
we've been taking pictures the whole time.
Yeah, on our trip to and from Kentucky.
Maryland's pretty strong though. When you go up and you go through,
Harper's Ferry, yeah.
when you go through Jefferson County and get into Maryland, there, shoot, jaw-droppingly gorgeous. But thanks for saying that.
No, we loved it.
Yeah, it's a good time for y'all to come down here. It's peak season's wrapping up, so it's a pretty time. All right, what are we leaving out? We clarified a few myths, truths that's been floating around.
Yeah.
We've let people know who Sergeant Haynes was as a person, and I believe. I mean, I got a good feeling about this. I always have a good feeling, but this is just right there.
I know.
Literally.
We have it too, don't we? And
Yeah,
I tell you, we didn't even go into this guy following us down the dirt roads, and we didn't know if people were going to shoot at us because we didn't,
Turn around people's driveway, which turns out we were parked in someone's driveway, and Courtney's like, "Oh, I'm related to them. You're good. Just you know me."
I was like, Mark's intimidating. He'll get out and throw down with some people. In some places, majority of haulers are just great people, but there's one or two places in West Virginia you could roll up in. And
I lived in on a mountain in Georgia, and I actually had a sign like halfway up my driveway. You are now in shooting distance.
Oh, nice.
And they say I'm the main one.
Yeah, you'll have that. Is West Virginia stand your ground state?
She had a home invasion, and she was.
Did you?
Yeah, she was in there. That's why that sign was put up. It wasn't put up until after.
Oh, you put up the sign.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I'm down.
Yeah,
nobody's coming in my house without.
I carried a .22 in my pocket for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. It was a really bad home invasion.
If I was awake, I had my .22. I was in town. I had capris on, and I'm in line, and officer walked in and
you can cut all this out.
Yeah, you can cut all this out.
I don't want to. Can we talk about it? I want to learn about it.
Is that your gun in your leg? I'm like, yes. He was like, it's okay if I follow you to the bottom of the mountain because I live 2.5 miles up. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So he followed me back. I went up the mountain and he went on back to town because they knew I carried that.
Can I ask about your home invasion, or do we want to cut that out? I'm just.
No, you can. It's fine.
Well, so
I didn't do anything wrong. So yeah.
Well, and a lot of people you lay down in your house, and it comes across our minds all the time of like, what would I do? I'm just curious what happened.
It was Sunday afternoon, and I was cleaning because everybody came to my house for Sunday dinner, and I heard a bang on the door, and I looked over and I saw a jacket, one of those puffy things. So I thought it was my son-in-law holding kids, and I was like, hold on. And I went over, went like this and then went into the kitchen. And when I turned around, it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Oh my.
Yeah. They wanted to rob us. And I was just, I don't have anything for you. I have thyroid problems. So if you're looking for medication, I'm sorry. So I had about 13 dogs, and my back door stayed locked all the time. There was no reason for, anybody to go in and out of the back door. It just stayed locked. And for some reason, it wasn't locked. And when I backed into it, I fell out the back door, and I started calling my dog. So I'm yelling, Jeff, John,
She
Nick,
named her
Mark.
dogs after my boys.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I had 13 dogs. People would drop, how people are. They drop dogs off on the mountains. I kept them.
So you're
Yeah.
calling for the dogs to come protect you.
Yeah.
And he thought I was calling people from the woods because my husband was a logger. And, so I ran a quarter mile to my neighbor and had her call the police.
Goodness gracious.
Could you imagine somebody running to you, yelling, call the police, call 911, call the police. And your response is, why?
Someone said that?
Yeah,
Your sister.
I'm running. I mean, I'm not young, but, and, why would I be running at you crying and screaming? And you say, why? She wouldn't even call them until I hit her front porch. I
Wow.
went right past her, picked up the phone, 911, and handed it to her.
Goodness. When did that happen?
2008.
Phew. So the guy just left? He ran away?
Well, he took, we had a 44 Red Hawk and
As a
couple
gun?
other guns. Yeah.
Okay. So he took guns?
Yeah. And he, okay. This is just a thing for all the people out there. You know those knife things that you have on your counter that holds all the butcher knives and stuff? Take them off your counter.
That's a good tip.
Because he came in, he had his own knife. And I guess he didn't think I was afraid enough. So he put his down on the counter and pulled out my butcher knife.
Oh, goodness.
And I was just, but no, I mean, it was so weird. He asked me if I had a cigarette. I was like, no, my husband's supposed to be picking me up, son. He should be back soon. And he was like, well, here, you have one because I want one too. So in the ashtray, I have his DNA. So there was no question about finding him.
Was he off his rocker? Like, was he on something?
I don't
He's
know.
just poor and desperate
he
and
was
stupid.
He was he was I don't know. I guess he was high at the time. I'm not sure.
Golly.
But he was on, drug related.
Right.
And then we get to court. I'm sorry, I talk.
No,
She
this
told
is
you.
this is
She
great.
warned you. We get to court and his father's on the stand and saying, well, I've been mentoring him and he hasn't gotten in any trouble for 6 months. And we've been doing daily devotionals and I think he's, okay now.
That's when Brenda comes off the top rope with an elbow.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Gotcha.
Brenda didn't have a chance. I got on the stand
Right.
and we like our check marks. Okay. And I was like, first of all, you're a minister. Yes. His attorney said yes. I was like, where were you his whole life? Why are you just now mentoring him?
Was
That
his
makes
son.
no sense. And the 6-month thing, he was in jail. So the little sissy was afraid to do anything to anybody else. Well, the judge called me back. Not the judge called me back up. So I went back and sat down. And then their attorney called me up later for more questions. And he was, well, if you were so afraid, how did you get away? I said, well, I had 13 dogs and they saved my life.
Oh.
And, I said they had boy names and everything.
Yeah.
And the judge turned to me. He was like, 13 dogs with male names. I said, yes. And
She had everything. She even had Clyde.
I was sitting there. I was bouncing on the it's not a pew because you're in church, but I mean, you're in court, not in church, but the wooden bench thing. I'm just like going up and down the bench, nervous energy and stuff. And the bailiff came over and said, I don't know if you know, but you're winning. You can calm down a little bit or we have to go outside. I was like, yes, sir.
Well, the gall of the question of asking if you were afraid, like, why? I mean, the dude broke into your house.
Mm-hmm.
If you were so scared, why did you get away? No.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, or I would have been.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then he said that his father, when his father was on stand, he said something about him being on drugs and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, I got back up on the stand. I mean, I was up on the stand twice. When I was up there, I said, I've helped raise 5 boys. I forget how old the youngest one was. I said, and I've worked hard their whole life to keep them away from your son. Thank God none of them do drugs. They're not into that category. But as a preacher, you're standing up here saying you're just now making a difference in your son's life. I'd be ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
The judge was cracking up. He was just, go ahead, you tell him.
Yeah.
But
and we have a lot of people in recovery on the show. Like a small percentage are criminals.
uh-huh.
Like this dude's a criminal.
Yeah.
He's not a recovering addict. He's a criminal.
A victim's advocate came to me years later. I can't even tell you what year. And she was going back and forth between him and I in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came down to, do you want to meet him and see what he's about now? Well, I worked on that for a while,
Sure.
And I went to see him. And I got in this room and it was the warden, a couple of officers, and the victim's advocate, and I guess it was like an attorney or somebody from the jail or something. I don't know. And I was quiet. He was talking. He just wants forgiveness, just, and I believed him.
Sure.
And I came straight up and told him, I can't forgive you for my children. I can forgive you for me because that lets me go. But I know how it feels to do without a father because of somebody else. Not because of anything I was doing, something that you were doing. So as far as my kids and my grandkids, I can't forgive you ever. But as far as I'm concerned,
Well, good on you. That's more than most people can do.
He did get out early. He had a 25-year sentence
For that?
for me.
Wow.
And he's already out now.
Hmm.
But it did do me good, didn't it? Just getting it out finally.
How?
Because
I imagine
the truth, for nights, I slept in the bathtub, in the bathroom.
So I was going to ask.
Because if that was the only room it didn't have lights. Oh,
Or a
no,
window.
I'm sorry, windows. So I would keep all the lights off in the house.
Right.
And I would go in the bathtub until dawn and I would crochet or read or, but
Her husband worked nights.
and my 22 is right
She
here.
was home by herself,
Terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'd say that took you years to even start to figure out how to get over.
My son took me, like I said, I was in Georgia, and if 15 cars went up my road a day, somebody was having a party. Something was going on. I went from that up to visit my son in Pennsylvania, and they take me Christmas shopping, and I'm like out of my head because there's so many people in this mall.
Oh, yeah.
And then my son, all the time since they were young, would come up and pick us up and take us somewhere else and put us down. Especially when the house wasn't clean. They'd come out of the house because they had chores and pick us up and take us down the end of the street, leave us there, and then run back home so they could finish.
Yeah, so they could. We were strict parents.
Yeah. But
I have 4 boys and she's got 1, and we raised them by ourselves.
Yeah, we just say 5.
Yeah. And,
But,
well, most of their life, they
I
had a
went
stepfather
nuts.
for a little while.
I went nuts in the mall, and I grabbed my son's shirt, and I was holding him so tight and pulled him to my face, and I was screaming. And I couldn't hear anybody else. My son saying, "Mom," that's what my daughter-in-law said. And then finally, my daughter-in-law was talking to me. So that calmed me down, and I scared the bejeebers out of my son. I almost got him arrested. The security guard almost tackled him.
Yeah.
That would have been the funny part.
Phew, man.
I'm sorry. I talked a lot.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. It's I've always wondered what it would be like to have a home invasion, and
Oh, yeah. You're not safe anywhere. I tell everybody that you think you're safe everywhere or somewhere. No.
Sure. Well, it's a small percentage until it happens. Then it's 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then you got to figure out what
that
do I
was
do.
The first time anything like that had happened up on that mountain.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and you gotta be prepared. Like, I know me, like you mentioned earlier, if someone came running up saying call 911, I'm wired to the point now to where I'm ready to radio SWAT. Like, I have the bat phone ready. If something happens in my vicinity, I'm going to overly complicate things. Or, that's just what I plan on doing. Now, hopefully nothing will ever happen, but you just got to be ready. You can be ready and still know there's goodness in the world, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But we met more people than not. That's
Oh, yeah.
great people.
Yep.
We've been blessed with family and friends and
Yeah.
Well, I hope we find
Easy
something
to
else.
talk to. Ask Mark.
Well, Mark, you get mad at him, you got
Something's wrong
problems.
with you.
Something's wrong with you. So you mentioned a list. I want to make sure to get the people you wanted to thank before we sign off. I think
it's not everybody.
it's a start. Got it.
We have, first I want to started with John Bam Zuchek.
Shout out.
We have Phyllis Sizemore.
It's a lovely name.
Mark Covey. Did I say that right?
Covey. But you're good.
Say it again.
Covey. But you're
Covey.
good.
Trooper Ralph Bailey. Deputy Birchfield. Trooper Andrew Paulpetier. Debbie and Mike Forrest. The Raleigh County Prosecuting Office. We had, the names. Well, Grant Choice.
Jeff Shoemate and Thomas Truman, right?
Tom Truman.
And Hitchers.
And
Was there like an intern working on this? Wasn't there someone?
That was Grant Joyce.
Okay. So I remember hearing that he really latched on to this and
Oh yeah,
he did. He was really nice.
He went up that road.
Higginsbottom,
yeah. And we met with him too when we were up here in August, and he called us afterwards and said, "I'm sorry." He's going to be there Friday.
Oh, cool.
Jeff Shoemake.
He had to get back to school and stuff, so he was.
Gotcha.
He was interning.
Gotcha.
Do not wear your dress shoes up there.
No dress
Friday.
shoes. All right.
Yeah.
Y'all mind if I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring my kickers. All
There
right,
you go. Do you
I'm
have
a-
another pair? No.
I can bring one. You want one? I got you.
We
Got you, Linda.
one. What is it? The snake gators?
Yeah.
Nice.
You ever heard of those?
Snake gators? I don't think, but sounds cool.
It is.
Okay.
They go over your regular shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
And
So, okay, where did I stop?
Jeff Shoemate,
Oh, okay.
somewhere in there.
Tom Truman, we said. Grant Joyce. State Police.
Oh yeah, Palpatine. General Palpatine is who I'm thinking about from Star Wars. But you said someone else. Sounds like a strapping Italian lad. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
he is.
Okay, gotcha.
Of the Upper Laurel Fire Department.
Shout out. Oh yeah. Okay, I know some people.
Oh,
over there.
they offered. I mean, nobody had to go and ask them. They offered.
Who'd you work with over there?
Kathy
Waltz.
and Brad Waltz. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
crazy. I mean, Wyoming County Sheriff.
And I have yet to meet him. We talked to
Yeah,
him on
we've
the phone.
talked to him.
Pretty.
Huh?
Pretty.
We haven't talked to him yet.
He's a good dude. Frankie Shelton's my favorite human on earth. I'm just going to tell y'all, he works with Pretty, but he's just the best. If y'all talk to anyone, talk to Frankie. I mean, I love them all, but Frankie is the best.
Where's he?
You probably haven't met him,
Oh,
but
no.
I'm just, he's a good dude. Cracks me up.
Oh, Bob Bragg.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, Bob.
Yeah. Have you heard of him?
No.
And Epling from the Raleigh County Sheriff's.
Yeah, Epling.
Met with him, and he's a very nice
Is it
guy.
Doug? What's that? Hold on. I'm going to look this up and make sure I get this right. Epling. Carry on. I'll look it up
Okay.
while you're looking.
The state police. I mean, everybody has really gotten into this and have pulled things out that her and I didn't even see.
Yeah, because we've read this thing so many times that sometimes it just blends together, or sometimes we'll pick up stuff, we've been reading it, and I'm like, Brenda, did you see this? And she says, yeah, and I'm like, well, why didn't you say anything? She said, I thought you knew.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Let's see. Brad Ellison was at Wyoming County in 24, but I don't know about now, but I'm gonna have to look that up. But
I was talking to someone in the governor's office.
Oh, the last governor's office.
Baby Dog,
Baby dog.
Yes.
that's who you talk to. Perfect.
The first time, and nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't get past the secretary. His secretary kept telling me, you need to go down to the regional police department because there's nothing we can do about it. And I'm like, but you don't understand. We're not calling to complain about the regional, but they don't have the paperwork, and I'm not getting anywhere.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
And,
the chain is hard. It's hard to get a hold of people.
But your new governor,
Yeah.
Morrissey.
Linda, got a hold of his office, and
And I'm trying to get the
Lieutenant
guy's
Governor
name up.
is she's been dealing with him,
Oh, nice.
and he said the National Guard will be there.
Who?
What's his name then? She's looking it up.
Okay. Who have you been talking to from that office? Because his comms director, super awesome person, Annie Moore.
Jason Williams.
Jason Williams. I don't know if I know him. That's good though.
He works with the governor's office, and he's called me 3 times.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I call and he'll call me right back.
Oh, if you can get it out there, that road that Little Bolt Mountain's on. What is it? Is it Ravencliff?
No,
McCall's,
it's called Popular Gap.
but no, that's after you get off the mountain, right?
Oh, okay.
Is it Poplar
But-
Gap or Popular?
Popular.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's popular.
Poplar. Okay.
Anyway, we want that name. That we don't want the name of the road changed, but we want something up there, an honorary marker for my father. And we went to the roads division while we were up in where were we? Princeton.
Yeah.
And they said they can't just put them up no more.
Listen.
We need delegates. And we need
And the
the
governor's office.
senators in the governor's office.
Yeah. Well, no, the
Sounds
governor's
like we need a
office told me
petition.
I had to go through the delegates.
Or the commissioner, they said. We need
Yeah.
them all.
You know how they do that? And don't do this, people, but you know how they do that here?
Mm-mm.
They put it up and then say, here it is. You know, people will just go and put up signs. Don't do this. But
Well, my uncle, I've got a photograph of my uncle.
Yeah, they did.
He did put a sign. I mean, it was this big.
Big sign.
oh, nice. Okay.
Oh,
Is it not there
it was-
anymore?
No,
No.
it got plowed over by a snow thing or something.
It's what it disappeared.
Yeah.
We don't know how it disappeared. We heard that maybe the snowplow hit it or something.
Y'all, so fun story. Bill Withers was born in Slab Fork, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And a buddy of mine, shout out Matt Mullins, drove by there all the time. Was like, Bill Withers was born here. Why ain't there a sign here? Well, I think I don't know if I'm getting this correct, but I think some of his friends put up the sign for Matt, and then eventually the state road put up their own sign commemorating Slab Fork as the birthplace of Bill Withers. So that was kind of sort of how that worked there.
What year was that, though?
Oh, this was pretty recent. Again,
Oh.
don't do this, people. It's not my fault if people go out and put up signs,
No.
but that's what happened with the Bill Withers sign. So
We
anyway,
need to find out how they made this sign.
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Well, so half the legislature listens to the show. I'm sure someone's listening that we can figure out how to
That's
put it.
something we've been wanting to do for years. And we thought we had to, contact the road crew. Well, what road crew? Would it be Raleigh? And so we were looking around to find out.
Right.
So we stopped down there in Princeton and talked to them guys. And they said, no, we can't do it. They used to.
I mean,
They
yeah.
can't just put it up anymore. It has to be approved from the commissioners. And
Well, I think we can.
delegates
I
and-
think we can at least make that happen. If there's
That's it.
if there's a delegate or somebody that wants to push something this upcoming legislative
since-
session for a good cause, let's go.
I mean, he's a vet.
Dad's service
Purple
started
Heart.
and ended right there.
I mean,
in
you know
Raleigh.
what? We got bridges needing names. We name them after veterans.
But there's no
Why not?
bridges on Little Boat Mount.
Well, let's build one just to walk across.
Right.
We can do something.
We'll take Mark all the way through the
But-
back roads again.
And we, for all of our lives, we couldn't wait for Dad to get next to Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was a CID lady.
Yeah.
Says, why not Arlington? Everything that man's been through in uniform, he deserves Arlington. So that's where we're going next.
Yeah.
I
And-
called Arlington, even though he has a marker down there at Glen Haven. We can still bury him in Arlington.
And we
So-
have
That's
one-
good.
That way, that I know he's always going to, once we find him, he'll always be taken care of.
You talk about a beautiful
And
place
we
too.
have one of
Mhm.
his last uniforms that we've had with
It doesn't
everything
have his
else.
medals on it and stuff
No.
because he was wearing
he was
all
wearing
his
his
medals.
medals. But that's going to be buried with him in Arlington.
Because Dad was in his dress greens.
Yep.
When he was hitchhiking and stuff. And
Ladies, we're gonna find him.
Oh, I believe so.
Daggone it. Come on.
So it's
You know the whole
thanks.
story. We gotta find it.
so
Oh,
many
yeah.
people say, well, what if you don't find him this time? Are you done? And I'm like, no.
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 Our hope is, I mean, we hope it's our dad, but we have a feeling there's going to be finding more than one person up there.
I got the name of the cemetery and I forgot. There is a cemetery in
Wyoming County
Wyoming County
with the
that has a body in there. It's labeled Mr. X. That is a body that was found on the day that my dad disappeared.
Hold on. What? What is
Why
this?
haven't they? They think it's Shirley.
the victim of the Mad Butcher.
Yeah.
It is in the one that had like the really bad mudslide vandalism not too long ago in Wyoming County.
Hmm.
It's near Oceana. Like
Is that the one they
area.
found on Bolt? Or what?
No, he was in Turkey Deck. like somewhere over there. So
Gotcha.
like nowhere really
But-
near.
So
but
between
same day.
Pineville and Oceana?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would like to see that body or what remains
Yeah.
exhumed and find out.
Who
Because
he
that
is.
family deserves everybody, all these families deserve answers,
Oh,
not
yeah.
just my dad. And, you know,
Well, they thought Margie Dodd was someone else for 20 years.
mhm.
So it can happen, y'all.
Mm.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
Oh,
you for
yeah.
having us. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry it went so many different.
Direct.
No, I think we did a good job of wrapping everyone's heads around it. I mean, there's a lot to this,
Yeah.
and we got a lot done. So yeah, let's
I'd
good. Go
like
ahead.
to hear what Mark has to say.
Yeah, Mark, what do you have to say?
Well, really, you
'Cause
know,
he gets a lot of background stuff that we never
I mean,
hear.
sadly, all that is gone now. But growing up, my great grandmother lived in McGraw's. So, we were little kids. We wouldn't behave or whatever in the car. So my nanny and papa would be like, look for the soldier on Bolt Mountain. I'm like, yeah, okay, this isn't, a legit thing. But then he was one of my first Google searches. So like he's kind of up there with Sharice Gwynn for me, like a true crime origin story. So I always knew, like when we started the podcast, James would of course be one of the episodes, and actually have his episode typed up before Nellie and Ray's, and then put it out. Really didn't think anything of it after. Then I had a message from one of you. I think it was Linda, who I had a message from. It was Linda or I don't remember, one of you.
It was one of us.
And it kind of just spiraled from there. And, here we are. And, my nanny was so happy that,
She was such a sweet
yeah.
lady.
We got to
this
meet
all
her twice.
happened.
Oh,
And then, there's been like other podcasts do things, and I've been on here twice talking about him. So, it's kind of just, I always wanted to tell his story because I knew there was so much more to it.
sure, yeah. Yeah.
There was a lady in the records department up at West Virginia State, and I can't remember. I'm terrible with names. And she remembers her grandfather going over little boat, and her grandfather would say a prayer for the soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that was back when it was a gravel road. That's where I learned that it was a gravel road
right.
from the lady. And I talked to her.
Yeah.
It's probably in my phone.
Sweet lady. I'm sure she makes some great biscuits and gravy. I'm just guessing.
I don't know. Brenda's stuck on Biscuit World.
Tutors? Oh, phew.
I told her
That
she had
is a West Virginia secret.
It's
that-
too much. It's so
It's everywhere.
Well, we share.
good.
Oh yeah, we share a plate. We
We
can't
get-
eat a whole one.
We'll get 2 plates, and I'll get 1 plate, and she'll get the sausage and biscuit thing, and then we split them.
Yeah, well, I'm a diabetic, so I eat 1 biscuit and gravy, and then I just go straight to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, check me in. I'm going to be here for a few days, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So,
Yeah, we just got done listening to your podcast.
oh, diabetes
Yeah.
chat, sugar-free chocolate PSA. Did you catch it? Okay, don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't do it. It's bad for you. But anyway, all right. Well,
Well,
thanks for
you.
reaching out, y'all. And I'm glad you're here, Mark. Mark, Mountain State Mysteries. Where can they find you, sir?
Everywhere. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, everywhere.
All the places.
All
Tell
the
Courtney we missed her.
I will.
Yes.
But
I haven't met her yet.
You will. I
yeah,
promise.
she's great. Courtney's great. Well, thank you all. I plan to be there Friday. Maybe we'll ride together or something.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't know where I'm going.
I'll get you there.
But yeah. Everyone out there, if you know anything, I mean, we pretty much know everything, it sounds like, but if you know anything, there's little nuggets coming out all the time. Be sure to reach out to the show, reach out to Mark and Mountain State Mysteries, reach out to me at creepalachia@gmail.com, and we will relay the information where it needs, or, call the sheriff's department, call prosecutor's office, call anyone you can and let them know so we can find the location of Sergeant Haynes. really think this is going to happen, y'all. Thank you for being here, and everyone out there. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Creepalachia on YouTube if you haven't. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, take a minute and leave a review. That'll really help the show be found. And we are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and everyone else. Always remember, rest in peace to Sergeant James Lee Haynes, and above all else, long live Appalachia.